Big news over the weekend. Vernon Downs is ready to start racing, and Jeff Gural is on the line right now. Jeff, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning.
All right, Jeff. So why? Obviously, there's a battle over the taxes and all of this with the state. And has there been any improvement made between you and New York and you and the governor here? No,
I just I went to Albany on Wednesday, and I had meetings with a few of the leaders. Senator Griffo really has been leading the charge up there. And then I met with on Thursday. I met in the city with the governor's people, and common sense usually prevails. And I think we've seen how hard the governor is working to increase the economy in the area of Utica, and other depressed areas. So why in the world would they want to see Vernon Downs close when it really costs nothing to keep it open?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I have to believe that that over the next couple of weeks we'll get this done.
So, but in the meantime, you're going to start racing again. It'll start this Friday,
because
right?
I mean the horsemen up there. A lot of these guys are my friends, and they're hurting. And guys, Vernon is the number one harness track in the state, so we also have stakes races, sire stakes. It would really upset the apple cart if we didn't race. So. I'm not looking to make other people's lives miserable just because my life is miserable.
Okay, all right.
And good news, you said Friday you'll start racing. I couldn't imagine Vernon Downs not being open for the Derby Saturday. I mean, I've been up there many years.
I forgot Kentucky Derby is this Saturday.
It's coming up, so that's good news that you guys will be open.
I mean, obviously that's a big weekend for us, so hopefully people will come out. But it's a really, I'm a horse guy, not a casino guy. The only reason I got involved was really because of the fact that it's the number one harness track.
But your downstate, your casino is open and doing well now, right? I mean, and is it the governor saying, well, I got you the casino. I mean, what more do you want?
Well, I don't think the governor would expect any businessman to keep a business open if it loses $40,000 a week. Mm-hmm. So I think that's, and like people, it's frustrating, but the simple fact is that the people who used to bet there just go to another New York casino. We're competing with 4 other casinos, and they go there. So the state is collecting the taxes either way. So it's not like plus. If we stay open, we would still give about $10 million a year to education, if that's the argument that people are making, that lowering the tax rate would take money from education. So not lowering the tax rate would take more money from education. So if that's your concern, which is my concern, obviously, the reason that this was done, to be honest, was to create jobs and to create money for education. So obviously closing would actually hurt education. So that argument goes out the window. So I don't see any argument for not doing this. I think everybody understood that when these casinos opened upstate, that there would be an impact on the Racinos. And last year, actually, the state passed legislation that lowered the tax rate for Finger Lakes because they were near Lago. Mm-hmm. So basically, all we're asking for is the same treatment because, we're in the same situation.
What is your what do you contribute on an average year? What is contributed to the state through taxes? Is it $10 million? Or is that just the amount that goes to?
When we were doing a lot better before all these other things, but we contributed over $150 million since I opened the place. So, you would think people would look at it and say, hey, look, this guy opened a facility that probably, unless you're a horse person, made no sense being so close to Turning Stone. But it makes a lot of sense if you ask the people in Vernon. Right. The other thing is we pay $2 million a year in other taxes that would stay about the same. We pay hotel tax, property tax, sales tax. So,
and I'm assuming when they're
benefiting, except me right now.
When you're racing, the hotel does better, the restaurants do better, the Racino does better when you are racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings people to the place.
Sure.
Obviously, if you're a racing fan, or if you like that, you're not getting that at Turning Stone or any of the other places.
And the surrounding businesses,
right.
too, not just Vernon Downs. Right?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of relief are you looking for? What would, and I mean, is this going to be relief that'll put you into a situation where you're in a profit? I mean, that would be nice.
Well, yes, to begin with. Obviously, I have no idea what the long-term impact is, so I told Senator Griffo that I would, if I did get the relief, I would keep it open for 5 years, no matter what. So if I misestimated, and I also, Senator Bonasek wanted an assurance that we would, at a minimum, keep 90% of the jobs that are there. So I said that made sense.
Okay, all right.
You know, what we're really looking for is essentially that that there would be a shift from education to us of 10%. So right now we give education 35%. We would be giving them 25%. We also get 4% for capital improvements, and basically that money would also accrue to us, but we wouldn't get any reimbursement for capital improvements, and I would waive the $3 million that the state currently owes me for capital improvements already. So,
and your philosophy on this is, if it's closed, the education is going to lose $10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
And 300 people lose their jobs.
Right.
Plus, there's probably another 100 or so affected by horse racing. A lot of about 2/3 of the horses that race there ship in from Florida and North Carolina. A lot of these people don't like to be up in Vernon for the winter with their horses. It gets cold, it snows, so they go to Florida or North Carolina and train down there, and then May 1st, most of them ship up to Vernon.
Have you lost anything permanently because of this delay? I mean,
no, I don't think so.
No one has said, "Hey, we've found other places to go and race. We're not going to come this year."
Maybe one or two, but not significant.
Okay. All right, Jeff. Interesting. Jeff Gural from Vernon Downs, and let's see if this deal can be put together. But no matter, it will open for racing on Friday and a big Derby weekend coming up.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
Jeff.
it.
Thanks for the time.
Stay well.